Long before the emergence of the Balaji temple in Tirupati and the Anantapadmanabha temple in Thiruvananthapuram as the wealthiest temples in India, there existed a temple in Multan, Punjab, now in Pakistan, approximately 2000 years ago. This temple boasted a staff of 6,000 members and generated substantial income. The Sun Temple of Multan, situated in the city of Multan, earlier known as Mulasthana, in modern-day Pakistan, honored Surya, the Hindu sun god. The temple gained widespread renown across the subcontinent as a revered pilgrimage site and a symbol of prosperity. However, its glory was short-lived as it faced destruction in the late 10th century and is believed to have met its final demise under the rule of Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb after 1666. The earliest surviving Hindu text to reference a solar cult is the Samba Purana, believed to have been composed around 7th or 8th century. After being afflicted with leprosy, Samba implored Krishna to restore his health, but Krishna expressed his inability and advised him to seek help from the sun god instead. Following the guidance of Narada, Samba journeyed into the forest of Mitravan along the banks of Chandragarbha river, revered as the sacred dwelling of Surya. There he performed penance to invoke Surya's presence and obtained a cure for his ailment. However, in exchange he was required to establish a temple dedicated to Surya. The following day, while bathing in the river, Samba received an icon of Surya, marking the establishment of the first solar temple. The Chachanama provides a historical account of the temple, attributing its construction to Jibavin, a devout Brahmin ruler who reputedly buried a valuable treasure beneath it. During Zhuangzang's visit in 641 CE, it stood as the sole solar temple in Sindh, contrasting with 299 Brahmanical temples, predominantly of the Saivite sect. Zhuangzang described the temple as adorned with gem-studded golden idol, drawing pilgrims from distant places. It was a grand edifice patronized by the king and the local elites. Adjacent to this temple stood a guest house catering to visitors and the underprivileged. In his account of the Multan temple, Zhuangzang described the image of Sun Deva as crafted from yellow gold and adorned with rare gems, radiating divine insight and the spiritual power to all who behold it. Women engage in musical performances, illuminate torches, and present flowers and perfumes in reverence to the deity, a tradition upheld since ancient times. Kings and prominent families from the 5 Indies faithfully offered gems and precious stones to honor this deity. Additionally, they have established a benevolent institution to provide food, drink, and medicine for the poor and sick, offering relief and support. People from various nations flock here to offer prayers, with thousands constantly engaged in worship. Surrounding the temple are the tanks bordered by blooming groves, providing a serene environment for contemplation and exploration. During the conquest of Sindh by Umayyad Caliphate in 8th century CE, under the leadership of Muhammad bin Qasim, Multan Sun Temple saw the downfall. After the Umayyad conquest of Multan Sun Temple, Qasim acquired a substantial amount of wealth, totaling 13,200 mans of gold through excavation. This accumulation of riches, whether through plunder or taxation, contributed to Multan earning the epithet "Frontiers of the Gold" by Arab geographers, a designation that persisted well into the 14th century. All the wealth, equivalent to 13,200 mounds of gold, was seized from what was considered the foremost pilgrimage site for local Sinds. They were meticulously weighed, revealing a total weight of 13,200 men. This amasses gold, along with images, gems, pearls, and other treasures looted from the city of Multan, were transported in boats to Deobal and deposited in the capital's treasury. It was also documented how Sindhis would shave their heads and beards before circumambulating the temple and offering their riches. Al-Biruni, who visited the site about a century later, noted that the Sun Temple was spared by bin Qasim once he learned of its significant role in the regional economy, although a piece of cow flesh was decisively hung around the idol's neck. It was ironic when Hindu kings waged war and attempted to seize Multan and the temple, the Muslim rulers would bring the sun god idol out, feigning intent to break and burn it. In response, the Hindu kings would retreat, knowing that otherwise they would lay waste to Multan. Multan stood as a formidable stronghold on the Muslim frontier, surrounded by an expanse encompassing 120,000 towns and villages. Within it resided the idol, drawing pilgrims from distant regions of Sindh and India. These pilgrims offered money, precious stones, aloe wood, and various perfumes to fulfill their vows. The king of Multan derived a significant portion of his revenue from the lavish gifts presented to the idol, particularly the purest quality of aloe wood, valued at 200 dinars per man. Qasim chose to spare the temple in exchange for a share of its revenues. Pilgrims were reportedly required to pay a sum ranging from 100 to 10,000 dirhams, adjusted based on their financial means. 1/3 of this amount went to the Muslims as per Qasim's agreement. Another third was allocated for the maintenance of the city facilities, and the meager remaining amount went to the temple priests. Subsequent narratives regarding the temple and Multan affirm that despite the city being under Muslim governance and the majority of its inhabitants embracing Islam, the Sun Temple remained a prominent site until 1666 AD, when it faced its ultimate demise at the hands of Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. The Jami Masjid, likely constructed by Aurangzeb, stood in its place. Multan Sun Temple, once a beacon of glory and a revered pilgrimage site, now lies in ruins, a shadow of its former grandeur. Ravaged by time and neglect, its once majestic structures have crumbled, and its sacred halls echo only the whispers of a distant past. The devotion that once thrived within its walls has faded, replaced by the silence of abandonment.